Hello, my dear students, and welcome back. I know, exams are super close, but don't you worry one bit, because I'm here and we're going to make this chapter, Rural Development, an absolute cakewalk. Ready? Let's jump right in. So, let's start with a really important question. You see our cities, all these fancy buildings, super fast internet, everything's growing, right? But have you ever stopped to think about our villages? That's where most of India lives. Why are they still lagging behind? That's exactly what this chapter is all about. And you know what? This isn't some new idea. Our very own Mahatma Gandhi said it best years and years ago. He knew that the real progress of India, it's not about shiny cities. It's about developing our villages. That's the real foundation, the heart of our nation. Okay, let's get into section 1. So what's the biggest, number one problem for our farmers? It all comes down to money, or the fancy word for it is credit. Just think about it, Beta. A farmer needs cash for seeds, for fertilizer, for everything, way before they can even harvest the crop and make any money. So where does this money come from? Let's find out. So, back in the day, the only option for a farmer was the local moneylender, the sahukar. And these guys, oh boy, they would charge crazy high interest rates, trapping farmers in a never-ending cycle of debt. It was terrible. But then, a big change happened after 1969. The government stepped in and said, no more. They brought in banks and cooperatives to give loans at much cheaper rates, specifically to help our farmers. But there was a catch. Even with banks, there was a big problem. See, banks need something called collateral. It's basically a guarantee. Like you have to show them land papers or some gold to prove you can pay back the loan. Now you tell me, do our poor small farmers have these things? Not really. So they were stuck. They couldn't get the loans. So what was the solution? Any guesses? Well, the solution was absolutely brilliant and so simple. Self-help groups, or SHGs. Just picture this. It's like a super-powered Gulick, a piggy bank for the whole group. A bunch of women in a village get together, and each one puts in a small amount of money regularly. This pool of money then becomes their own little bank. And how does it work? It's genius in its simplicity. Step 1, everyone saves a little bit. Step 2, all that money is pooled together. Step 3, if someone needs a small loan, they can get it from the group's fund at a very reasonable interest rate. And the best part? It's all managed by them. This has been a total game changer, especially for empowering women in our villages. Just incredible. Okay, moving on. Our farmer has the money, they've grown the crops, amazing. But now what? The next big challenge is selling it, right? And not just selling it, but getting a fair price for all that hard work. This brings us to section 2, from the farm all the way to your plate. Let's talk about agricultural marketing. Okay, listen up, bachcho. Pen and paper ready? This is a pakka, guaranteed 3-mark question. It comes up in the exam all the time. So pay very close attention to the next slide because I'm giving you the perfect answer. Ready? Here we go. All right, here are the 4 golden points for your answer. Number 1, the government created regulated markets, or what we call mandis, to make sure weighing and pricing is fair and nobody gets cheated. Number 2, they built infrastructure. Think roads, warehouses, cold storages, so that the fruits and veggies don't spoil. Super important. Number 3, cooperative marketing. This is where farmers form a group to sell together. The best example? Amul. It's a success story we all know. And finally, number 4, policy instruments. And the most important one is MSP, minimum support price. Now, what is this? Just think of it like a safety net for our farmers. It's a promise from the government. Before the farmers even plant their seeds, the government announces, hey, no matter what, we will buy your crop for at least this much price. So if the market price suddenly crashes, the farmer doesn't have to panic. They have that government promise to fall back on. It protects them from big losses. Simple. Okay, let's think about this. Relying only on farming is super risky, isn't it? What if the rains don't come? Or what if some pesky insects destroy the entire crop? Poof, the whole year's income is gone. That's why we need something called diversification. It's a simple idea, finding other ways to earn a living in villages, not just through farming. Let's explore some of these options. So take a look at this chart. Animal husbandry. That's just a fancy term for raising animals like cows, goats, and chickens, is a massive source of income. And just look at that pie chart. That huge blue slice, that's poultry. Chickens and ducks make up more than half of our country's livestock. For so many small farmers, this provides a steady income, which is just fantastic. And while we're on the topic of animals, how can we not talk about milk? You have to know about Operation Flood, also called the White Revolution. Because of this amazing program, our milk production has shot up by, get this, 12 times. Can you believe it? 12x. This cooperative movement was so successful, it made India the #1 milk producer in the entire world. Wow. But wait, there's more. The options don't just end there. We've got fisheries. I mean, with our long coastline and so many rivers, it's a huge source of livelihood. Then there's horticulture. We're talking fruits, vegetables, flowers. India is a world leader in growing things like mangoes and bananas. And guess what? Even the IT sector is now reaching our villages, creating brand new kinds of jobs. How cool is that? All right, moving on to our final section, and this one is super relevant today. Let's talk about farming with Mother Nature. I'm talking about organic farming. You hear this word everywhere now, right? Organic food. It's all about growing food without all those harmful chemical pesticides and fertilizers. It's the healthy, eco-friendly way. So what are the benefits? Why is everyone talking about it? Well, first, it's cheaper for the farmer. They can use local stuff like cow dung instead of buying expensive chemicals. Second, the whole world wants organic food, so it's amazing for exports. It's also more nutritious, creates more jobs, and of course, it's so much better for the environment. It's a win-win for everyone. But my dear students, remember this for your exams. A top-grade answer always looks at both sides of the coin. Organic farming isn't perfect. It has some challenges. For the first few years, the amount of crop, the yield, might actually be lower. The fruits and veggies might not have a very long shelf life. And for a small farmer, it can be tough to get started. So it's important to know the limitations too. Whew, and just like that, we've covered the entire chapter. You guys have been brilliant. Okay, now for the most crucial part. Let's do a super quick recap of everything. This next slide is your ultimate summary for the exam. Everything you need is right here. So let's nail this down. Just remember these 5 key takeaways. First, rural development is the key to India's progress. Simple. Second, for money, we've moved from bad money lenders to good banks and SHGs. Third, the government helped improve markets with things like MSP. Fourth, it's not just about farming. Diversification into livestock and horticulture is super important. And fifth, organic farming is the future. See? The whole chapter in 5 simple points. You got this. And I want to leave you with one final thought. For you, the brilliant minds and the future of our country. In this world of smartphones and technology, I want you to think, how can you use technology to help a farmer in a village near you? It's something to think about, isn't it? All right, that's it for me for today. All the very best for your exams. I know you're going to be absolutely amazing. Go rock it!